Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Kate. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. For a long time, I've always wanted to attempt making those my dog is walking if you can hear them. Those 2-day cookies from Tasty made by Alvin. Pretty much I feel like everyone knows what Buzzfeed is, and Tasty is just a company from Buzzfeed, and through there, this Alvin guy showed a recipe of a 2-minute, 2-hour, and 2-day cookie. And cookies are, I hold very strong in my heart. My life goal is to be the mom with the best cookies and make the best cookies possible. So I thought, why not attempt this cookie recipe, give it my best shot. We have a Christmas party in 2 days, so I thought this would be the perfect time to make them for that party. And without further ado, let's get started and make some cookies. Down everything in my notebook here. If you want to find a recipe, I'll link it down below, but it's also online. I just like having it in front of me. First step is making the toffee. Toffee is basically a confection made by caramelizing sugar or molasses along with butter and sometimes flour. We're not using flour now, but sometimes. And so that's what I'm going to go do now, and I will film it so you guys can see over there. So let's get started on that. Welcome. I have my 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter right here. I need my directions. My 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I've never made toffee or anything like this before, so it could be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Basically, I feel like you just throw it all in. So that's what I'm gonna do. And it says on medium heat. Ooh, too hot. Way too hot. Okay, so it's too hot, so I'm lifting it up. It's 1 teaspoon of salt. You want to mix it constantly. So let me set my timer for 10 minutes. Alright, so this is what it looks like right now. I'm still trying to melt all the butter. And I'm just constantly mixing. I'm also using this rubber spoon so it doesn't stick to the spoon, and I can like scrape it against the bottom if anything sticks. So this is what it's starting to look like about 5 minutes into cooking it. It kind of has like a melted caramel feel to it, which kind of is almost melted caramel. So just a few different ingredients, but it's almost getting there. I'm actually very proud of how far I've gone and not burned it yet. Fingers crossed. It's now been about 9 minutes. I just stuck my thermometer in. It looks like that. It looks really good actually. Looks good enough to put it on the pan. So much stuff happening. Ooh, that looks good. We're gonna cool it down, and when that's cooling, we're gonna make the other dough. So many things happening. Now that the toffee is done, it is time to move to the cookie dough, and the first step is brown butter. So we're gonna make some brown butter, another thing I've never done, so another thing we can burn and potentially mess up. But that calls for 1 cup of butter. We're gonna put it in here and try and make brown butter. Let's get started. This time we're gonna start out with a medium to high heat. So I started melting the butter, as you guys can see. Now, if you don't know what brown butter is, I didn't really know either. I've never made it. Basically, butter has milk and water in it when it's like the solid form. So when you cook the butter, the water molecules go away and it leaves the milk solids. I'm reading my notes because I wrote notes. And it turns into a golden brown color and has like a nutty scent and a flavor to it from the heating process. And then at the end, we're also gonna add an ice cube so it like cools down a little before we put it in the dough. But basically that's our science lesson for today. You're welcome. And I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. I decided when the butter is melting, we're gonna have another lesson. Just don't mind that. In cookies, it may call for a certain temperature of butter. Now, usually it's room temperature. So room temperature butter in cookies creates a more cake-like solid cookie, and it evenly cooks better and holds the shape without overspreading. And then if you have very soft butter, which basically is butter that, let's say you put in the microwave to make it room temperature, but it just cooked a little too much and it's a little liquidy, but still like solid somewhat. It creates a doughier and greasier cookie. It still holds the shape, but spreads a little bit more than room temperature butter. And then melted butter, it creates a chewier cookie with more spread, so thinner and maybe a little crispier. And sometimes they're going to be greasier and softer in the center. Now with this cookie dough in specific, I think the melting butter, what it says will do, won't really happen because we're going to cool the cookie dough, and cooling the cookie dough will kind of counteract that, the overspread and that type of stuff. But that's basically what the different temperature and butter will do to your cookies. If you were ever curious why they call for room temperature butter instead of like melted or cold. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now when I removed it off heat. It does look like brown butter, hopefully it is. So when our brown butter is cooling, we are starting on the other stuff. So right now is the sugar. So sugar is 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. For brown sugar, we're using dark brown sugar. In most cookie recipes, it will call for light brown sugar. The difference between dark and light brown sugar is the amount of molasses in it. And molasses is just a type of sugar or sweetener. So light brown sugar has half of molasses than dark brown sugar. But dark brown sugar then has like a deeper and complex flavor, closer to a toffee or caramel, which will really complement the toffee we're going to put in. And then we're going to need 2 teaspoons of espresso powder. Now at my store they didn't have espresso powder, but anytime recipes called for espresso powder, my mom usually just uses these Starbucks Italian roast dark roast coffee. Then 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of salt. Now we're going to combine it all together. When I hand mix stuff, I love my good old wooden spoon. I feel like it just makes everything taste better. I truly do believe that, even though it is just the mixing utensil. I think it's true. Okay, and now we're going to pour the brown butter mixture into this, or our burnt brown butter mixture. Okay, well, hopefully everyone knows I spent 2 days making these cookies, so they'll just be very nice to me and won't tell me if it tastes bad. Okay, as you guys can see, it's a very dark color because of all the dark brown sugar and then the dark brown butter we added. It has a really nice caramel, like deep caramel and nutty smell. Okay, so now we're gonna do the eggs. I have a slight dilemma because I was just watching the video to make sure I did the butter right because I was slightly freaking out. But I think I did do it right. Mine was just a tiny bit darker than his and it was fine. But on the video it says 4 eggs, but on the recipe online it says 2. So I'm gonna mix these and put it into the batter, and along the way, if it doesn't look, or if it looks like I need more, I will add the 2 other eggs in. Add the vanilla into this, which is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm thinking because on the recipe online it says 2 large eggs, and on his he just said he added 4 eggs, so I don't know if he had like not large eggs. I'm trying my best, guys. Combine it in here and whisk it until, or mix it until it is glossy smooth, as it says. I added the 2.5 cups of flour. It specifies this time to fold it in with the rubber spatula. So I just washed off my rubber spoon and am folding it in with that because my spatula is very small. We're just gonna mix this until well combined and the flour has no streaks, which will probably be a minute because I am scared. Ooh, I'm gonna spill it like I just did. So I just finished mixing all the flour into our cookie dough mix, and using the rubber spatula really did help. As you can see, the dough doesn't stick to it, so that helped a ton. So I recommend using a regular spoon or spatula when making it. Now we're gonna go ahead and chop the toffee and chocolate up to add it to this. First, I'm gonna do the toffee. Now our toffee's been in the freezer for 30 minutes. It cracked here, but that's okay because we're gonna crack it anyway. And it looks pretty good. What we're gonna do is break this up in mink shards and then put it in a baggie and hit it So we have some nice big but like reasonable sized chunks to put in the cookies. I have the toffee in the baggie here. Some pieces are still pretty big, but hopefully when it melts, like, it'll be a good size. My mom just came down and tried it. I didn't film her because she was wearing her pajamas, but she said it was really, really good. She was nervous when she heard the bubbling. That was the brown butter. So far, good on that. Now we're gonna cut up the chocolate. So for chocolate, you are gonna need 6 ounces of chocolate, 50% to 70% cacao. So this here is 56, and then this is 70. Only a 4-ounce bar in this, and this is 3.5. So I'm gonna have to do some math, and I'm gonna try and evenly split it. Cut up the first bar. I lied about the measuring and doing the math. I figured people aren't gonna complain if there's more chocolate than there should be. You wanna make sure that the pieces are uneven and like big and chunky, because it's like a textural thing. Also, when you bite into it, you want like your mouth to be like submersed with chocolate, and like you never know what you're gonna get at the next bite type of thing. So I put all the chocolate and the toffee in this bag so I can like mix it around. I'm just gonna dump it in and start folding. Now the chocolate that the cookie recipe called for was a darker chocolate compared to like semi-sweet or milk chocolate. I know that with the help of the espresso powder, it'll help bring out the sweetness of it all, because espresso powder is like chocolate's best friend. It helps intensify the flavors and also the sugar flavors. And then it also helps like the cookie when baking to brown better. Overall, just helps the taste and makes a tastier cookie. This is what we are working with right now. Just attempting to fold all of this together. Cookie dough looks like with everything mixed in it. Now it is time to scoop everything and put it on our prepared sheet. If you're wondering why 36 hours exactly we're going to refrigerate it, Alvin in his video mentioned how the best chocolate chip cookie he's ever had was at a bakery he used to work at, and they froze it for 36 hours. And one time he experimented with himself and made a cookie batch, made one cookie right when it was done, and then put some cookies in the fridge, and a few hours later cooked one, and then kept doing that until it hit 36 hours. And he said that the best cookie was at the 36 hours, and that's because the flavors can like just combine and soak together. Overall, just helps the taste, and also the spread of the cookie. It'll still be very big and just hold its shape well. Even refrigerating your cookies for like 10 minutes can do a big difference. So I would recommend that maybe next time you make cookies, try it. Refrigerate them for like 10 to 30 minutes or even a few hours if you choose to do so. I promise it will make an amazing difference in your cookies. I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting all these on the tray and then come back to you guys in a minute. So our cookies are done and scooped. I started scooping with my normal, like smaller, normal size cookie scoop, and realized there were a lot of cookies being made, so I decided why not go big or go home. So I basically just combined 2 of the cookie scoops into one, and I have these giant cookies now. What we're gonna do now is wrap this up in saran wrap and then stick it in the fridge, and I'm gonna set a timer for 36 hours. And in 36 hours, which it'll probably be over that, which is fine. You need to rest it for at least that amount of time. We're gonna come back and cook them and see how they taste. Welcome back. It has been 47 hours, so the 36 hour has marked for us having to refrigerate the cookies. This is what they look like right now. Ooh, yummy, yummy. I have some pans behind us. We're gonna put it on and then put it at the oven for 325 for 18 to 20 minutes, and then take them out, sprinkle it with some salt, and then we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cookies on the plate. Get started. With all the cookies, I have it on 3 separate pans back here. You wanna make sure you leave room for spreading, and I'm not positive how much these will spread, so just be aware of that. And then we're gonna cook them, then eat them. Sounds like a great plan. Okay, I'm not sure if they're done, but we're taking them out.
Take them off.
There are many people in the kitchen right now.
Like you were asking me.
No, they're huge. Oh, lordy. This is our other food for a party. And then I need this one. I kind of had an oopsie with one of them. Yeah. I had an oopsie with one of them. And then once the cookies are out, you want to quickly sprinkle them with flaky salt. I don't have... Ooh, that is like... This will do. I don't have flaky salt. I have this salt. Don't laugh at me. So I'm just going to flake it on it. What sticks, sticks.
Isn't cute?
Don't talk about it. It's the flavor that's all that matters. This ain't right. And then you want to let it cool completely. So the cookie, because they're going to be like kind of soft right now. And then try them. Yeah. Okay. We'll come back when they're cooled.
I wasn't just doing that for the show.
Yeah.
I'll put another one there.
Oh, no, you don't.
Now we're going to try the cookies. You guys can be in it for this part.
Okay, wait.
Wow.
You can take more than one dough to do it.
Here, wait. We'll just...
Are we all eating at the same time?
Yes.
Pat, you want to try this?
Dad, do you want a piece?
Yeah, be on a piece. I'll be the hand from the outside.
Tasty.
I got a little hint of the coffee flavor.
Yeah, did you put salt on top?
Yeah, but it was like not flaky salt like it was supposed to be.
Yeah, no,
it was like
that's good.
coarse salt.
Well,
The toffees are really good, and I do taste the coffee. Yeah.
did you put this caramel in there too or something?
There's a toffee.
Toffee.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's very
Good
good. Nice job.
Excellent work.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and
Eat your cookies.
plate. We're gonna plate them first so we can put them out at the Christmas party. And that's basically much it. This again is Alvin's recipe from Tasty, and I will link it down below if you guys want to see it. Consensus is everyone did like them. If you wanted to spend time making a fancy cookie for any occasion, I recommend doing so.
Did you want me to subscribe?
We're not at that part yet. But without further ado, make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow all my social media listed down below. I am Kate, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!